Nearpod is a great online platform that you can use to create different presentations and activities that allow your students to interact with each other and the content presented on the Nearpod. So when you go to nearpod.com, you can sign in for a free teacher account using your Gmail, and then you have the option to explore different Nearpods that have already been created, or just go ahead and create your own. For the sake of this video, I'm going to show you one that I already created and how I inputted everything into this presentation. So for my students, what I like to do is, the first thing I do is I add a slide, kind of like as a welcome slide. So this one right here, I'll show you. You would add slide, go to content, and then it's just a simple slide. So since it's my welcome screen, I only did one element because it's just a single image. If you want, you can do 2 elements and put your title here and any image you want to appear here. You also have a couple different options for that as well. You can also add audio if you like, or just put it as a background. So again, this would be my welcome screen. It's just one image. After that, I inputted 2 videos, and the great thing about that is it's really easy to do. The way that you would do that is you would go to add content, and then I scrolled over to find video. So this isn't necessarily where you're going to put in a link. This is where you would search YouTube. So for instance, the video that I added is from PBS Math Club, and it was integers. So I just searched this, and this is the video that I added right here. So it's very easy to input videos from YouTube, or you can upload your own. Following these 2 videos, oh, and the great thing is when you see the preview, with these videos, since it's a video slide, the students don't have to exit the Nearpod to watch the video in a new tab and then go back to the Nearpod. It actually just plays the video right in the Nearpod. Following these videos, I did a poll, just a quick poll question asking, how do you feel about what you just learned about integers? And then we're going into adding integers. So this again is similar to the welcome slide that I showed you right here. It's just an image followed by another video, and then a slide where they actually can draw on the screen to answer a question. So what I want students to do is, I said using counters, since this is virtual, I want them to draw it, represent the following equation. So when the students see this, they'll have a toolbar down here, and I'll show you what that looks like, and they'll actually be able to draw -2 plus -3 to realize that -2 plus -3 equals -5. So that's a really cool feature that I like to use a lot with math because it allows students to physically draw and show their work. Excuse me. Following that, I have a video about adding negative numbers that doesn't require using counters. So following that, there is a short quiz based on the video that they watched, a poll, and then a link to a quizzes. And then just as a wrap up, one more poll question. So to show you what this would look like, I will preview it for you. And I'll show you exactly how students can get to this Nearpod, because there's actually 2 options. So when students sign into this Nearpod, this is what they would see. This is essentially my welcome screen. Students would then go to the first video, and like I said before, by playing this, it'll automatically just load right here. It doesn't force them to go to a new tab. It's all within the actual Nearpod. Then there's a quiz based on that video, and this is just a simple poll question. As a teacher, when students answer this poll, you will have the feature that all the poll results automatically get put into a pie chart. So it's a really good report for the teacher to see. This is just another kind of welcome image screen slide that I put before going to a new video. So this video, again, is about adding, using counters with positive and negative counters. This is the draw slide that I was telling you about. What I recommend for your students is have them lock this toolbar, because without locking it, it kind of course it's not going to do it now, but it kind of goes away. It like just toggles up and down, and I find it easier for my students just to lock it so it's always there. So here's where they would see the question. Using counters, draw red circles for negative and yellow circles for positive. Represent the following equation. So for -2 plus -3, students can come down here. They can use a pencil or marker. I would do -2. And you can even have them write plus -3. It's not going to be pretty because I'm not using a stylus, but you get the idea. And so they would say then -2 plus -3 equals -5. I think they have the option to make the text larger as well. They do. And students have all of these options within their screen when they're actually going through this Nearpod. So this isn't just because I'm doing it from my computer or because I'm signed in as a teacher. This is what students would actually be able to do on this draw slide. And so there's just a couple more drawing questions. For instance, -2 plus +3 and 2 plus -3, just to see the different options that you get with adding negatives and counters. So here's a new video that they would watch, and then it gives them a quiz. So this is what the quiz would look like. What is another name for opposites? Hint, there are 2 answers, so they can go through and select both answers. And like I said, the only downfall with the quiz is that you only have multiple choice answer questions. So you do have the option to do multiple answers, but it's just multiple choice questions. I mean, you can use this to do true or false, but again, it's only multiple choice. And you do have the option to add as many answer choices as you want. As you can see, the other 2 questions were 4 answer choices. This one has 2. So again, just some simple questions based on the video that they just watched. And then once they get to this slide, after the last question on the quiz, it should say something along the lines of like submit the quiz. And then this is actually just another poll question. This is not part of the quiz. After they answer that poll question, I embedded a link for them to go to quizzes. So they would just click here to open that, and then I would provide them with a game code. And this quizzes was all about adding integers. And then just to finish this off, I just added another poll question. Tell me how you feel about adding integers. So that is kind of a quick preview of what my students would see. There are 2 options with presenting Nearpods. Let me just save that real quick. You have the option of presenting it as a live lesson. And so what that would look like is this. Students will join using this code, and then so you can show this to the students. You can even send it to them through Google Classroom or link it through My MCPS Classroom if you prefer to do that. And so when students log in, this is what they will see. And then as a teacher, if I move on to this would then load all the videos, load the video on everybody's screen. So I kind of control the pace of the Nearpod, and this is through the live Nearpod setting. So this is the poll, and so as students answer this question, it'll display the student's name here and whether they picked A, B, or C. And then, like I said before, it'll create this nice pie chart for you to see everyone's results. And so I just keep going. This is really cool when students are answering this question and submitting their answers. You can actually see the responses. You can actually see, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry with all these pop-ups. You can see the responses from each student and what they drew on their screen. So that's pretty cool to see as well. And then, so this is the quiz. And again, it'll create a pie chart of the student responses, and it'll list the student's name here, their overall score, and what they selected for the 9 questions. This is just another poll. This is the link to the quizzes that I pushed out to them, and then the last poll question. So that's the live version. And again, the benefit of the live version is that you as a teacher have the ability to pace out the lesson how you want it to go. The other option is you can send it to students as a student-paced lesson. So by doing this, this allows the students to progress. Oh, you can upgrade, but you can upgrade for free. This allows students to progress at their own pace. I highly recommend that if you're going to do this and you have videos, make sure that the students have headphones because you don't want to hear 30 different videos going on at the same time. So I highly recommend that if you're going to do student-paced, have the students watch it through, with the use of headphones. So that's Nearpod. There's a lot of great features on here. Just to show you real quick, some options that I didn't include in this, but you do have the ability to do so. The other activities are you can send students an open-ended question. You saw the poll, you saw the quiz, you saw draw. They also have a collaborating feature, a fill in the blank, and a memory test feature where they have to pick a card that has the correct answer and solution. Other than that, those are pretty much the main features that I use. You can also send a slideshow or a PDF or even just an audio file if you want. So that's Nearpod. Again, it's great to send out resources to your students through this and create digital presentations for your students.